Well, hello there my darlings, happy new year. Welcome back to my first video of 2021. This was a very last minute decision. I popped a poll on my Instagram stories this morning asking for video ideas, and so many of you wanted a 2021 trend video, and what a throwback. It feels like a while since I did a fashion video. My channel has become hugely vlog focused lately, but I have decided that my video structure for 2021, and let's be honest, this may change, but I think what I'm going to try and do is fashion videos on Sundays and vlogs on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's the plan, so let's see how it goes. So to kick things off with a bang, I thought we would do a video that used to be so iconic here on my channel, and it is a trend video. Before we get started, I'd love to open up a bit of a conversation here, because how do you guys feel about trends? There is no denying that the world has changed so much this last 12 months. Do we still care about trends? It's a real funny one, and I would really love to know your thoughts down below. I actually was of the opinion that I didn't really care about trends anymore, that my own wardrobe wasn't really impacted by trends. But then, to get myself in the swing to film this video, I actually rewatched the video that I did this time last year. And looking back at the trends that I mentioned, I realized that actually, yes, they really did impact not only the pieces that I chose to purchase throughout 2020, but also the way that I styled the pieces in my existing wardrobe throughout last year. So whether it's conscious or subconscious, I think it is still interesting to just have in the back of our minds what the trends are. It doesn't mean we need to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. It can just be picking out those pieces that we already own and styling them up in a way which is on trend for 2020. I have chosen the most wearable trends that I genuinely think we're all going to love wearing throughout the next 12 months. But at the end of this video, I am also going to share some of my least favorite trends for 2021, and ones which I don't think that I can possibly see myself investing in. But again, in years gone by, I've done this exact same video and I have ended up investing in those trends which at the beginning of the year I think are absolutely disgusting. So all bets are off. Darlings, if you are new to my channel, then firstly, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. As I mentioned, there will be one fashion video a week here on my channel, as well as 2 vlogs. That's the plan. I would love it if you do subscribe. Click the little subscription button down below. That would truly mean the world to me, and as always, everything that I feature in these videos will be linked in the description box down below, so you can just open that up for links to everything that I have mentioned. Okay, let's get started. The first trend of 2021 will come as a shock to absolutely none of you, and it is elevated loungewear. Boy oh boy, have we got used to wearing loungewear. I mean, I'm filming a fashion video, and could I be bothered to get out of my loungewear today? No, so here I am in a cable knit jumper and leggings, but we are going to be seeing more elevated loungewear pieces across the board, from the designers to the high street for 2021. Comfort is a habit that is very hard to break, so I for one am very grateful for this trend. We have of course seen it in the designers from Prada to Proenza Schooler. They've all had a little bit more of a loungewear touch to their catwalks. There are a few brands which I feel are made for this elevated loungewear trend, such as Totem. That is a brand that I chose to invest in last year, and also there's a new brand appearing on my radar called Lisa Yang. She has the most beautiful kind of a cappuccino creamy coloured set. I'll pop a picture up on the screen here, and I think we're going to be seeing this kind of coordinated and therefore elevated loungewear across the board throughout 2021. Kind of following on from that, another trend which is not exactly new because we did see it a lot last year is the bralette trend. We are going to be seeing that across the high street. In fact, it's already here. Despite the fact that we are in the middle of winter here in the UK, the high street has already started showing us lots of different ways that we can wear bralettes. I have seen them on the likes of And Other Stories and River Island, but it was really Jacquemus that brought those to us from a high fashion sense. So it's a trend that we don't need to spend too much money on if we don't want to. And if you're new to my channel, that's kind of my philosophy when it comes to classics versus trends. I tend to lean towards those more affordable retailers for those on-trend pieces, whether it's a way of testing them, figuring out how they work for my wardrobe, or just because I don't want to spend a lot of money on something which potentially in a few months is not going to be on trend. Having said that, I don't think that trends are the be-all and end-all. If you love something, you should wear it. If something is not on trend and yet it works really well for your personal style or your wardrobe, just wear it. Half the stuff that I wear is not on any of these trend lists, and yet it works my lifestyle, it works my style, so I wear it. Bralettes, I have experimented with a little bit. I got a really cute sparkly bralette for the festive party season, not that I had anywhere to wear it to, but I think now that the high street is bringing out these more loungewear style bralettes, I might be tempted to dabble with that trend a little bit more. The next trend is one which I have already seen a few of the cool girls wearing on my Instagram feed, and it is sweater vests. Personally, I absolutely love this trend and I can't wait to see how I can inject it into my wardrobe. It's just that one piece that can really elevate so many of the existing things in your wardrobe and make your whole look suddenly seem more on trend. So you don't need to fork out for a whole new wardrobe, which is definitely a bonus. I would say the sweater vest trend this year is less preppy and more whimsical, if that makes sense. There is an Isabel Marant sweater vest which is on my personal wish list, and it was brands like Coach and Louis Vuitton that really showcased this trend on the catwalk. Now I think there are a few very wearable ways of wearing this, but you can get creative too. I've seen the cool girls wearing a sweater vest over just a plain crisp white shirt and mom style jeans, but personally I'd like to experiment with maybe wearing a sweater vest over a ditzy floral blouse come spring, you know, that time where we really want to start wearing the spring trends, but it's still really chilly, so we need those layering pieces. So imagine a gorgeous sweater vest over a floral ditzy print loose billowy blouse and maybe even a voluminous skirt. How magical would that look? Now the next trend, I actually don't want to call it a trend, because it shouldn't be a trend, and it is sustainability. So sustainability has thankfully been on the forefront of everybody's mind throughout the last 12 months. In particular, thank you David Attenborough, but thankfully we've seen so many designers really putting more of a focus on it, and especially with what they are producing for 2021. We have seen Balenciaga, Prada, Maison Margiela, they are all pioneering upcycled materials, biodegradable materials, and that is something that I hope that so many more brands will follow suit. Sustainability was of course a really big movement last year as well. We saw brands just making small changes, such as using recycled plastic coat hangers and really looking at their supply chains, making sure it was as ethical as possible. I know it's mind-boggling that brands weren't doing this before, but I'm really glad to see that more brands are making it more of a focus as we move forward. I often think it's really funny to compare economic times and everyone's level of mood and uncertainty to fashion trends, and I think that when everything is up in the air, like it very much is now, we often lead towards nostalgia, but also simplicity in the trends. And I think that might be one of the major reasons why monochrome is going to be a really big trend for 2021. The monochrome color palette was seen on the catwalks of retailers such as Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gabriela Hearst also did the most beautiful black and white looks. At Dolce & Gabbana, what I thought was really interesting was they actually used fabric from archived collections in a checkerboard. So in a way, that's also bringing in a little bit of sustainability as well. Without even realizing, I'm actually wearing a monochromatic look right now with my black leggings and my white jumper. It just goes to show you don't need to necessarily go out and buy anything new to partake in these trends. These are things which have been in my wardrobe for months, if not years. But then that leads us on to the next trend, speaking of my wardrobe. And monochrome doesn't necessarily have to mean black and white, but it can be a full tonal outfit. And hallelujah, neutrals are going to be massive for 2021. Hurrah! Most of my wardrobe is neutrals, so this is absolutely music to my ears. But a tonal outfit is going to be very much on trend this year within that neutral color palette. Personally, I think it is so flattering, so timeless. It is so easy to wear. So yes, top to toe neutrals is going to be another look which is very fashionable for the upcoming year. Up next is quite possibly my favorite trend for 2021. It's one which you can get a little bit creative with, but equally I'm really excited to see how the high street starts to adopt this trend, because right now it still is in those more designer brands only, and it is historical shapes. This for me is just absolutely fascinating. Again, it's that psychological kind of nostalgia coming back in during these uncertain times. We look back to happier times, we look back through the history books. We are seeing a lot of 1940s silhouettes, which I think are so elegant, so flattering, really cinched in around the waist. We're seeing some beautiful voluminous shoulders, gorgeous A-line skirts, and I think they're so ladylike, so feminine, and I think it's so fun seeing how people make these historical silhouettes very current for outfits today. We're also going to be seeing a lot more corsetry. This is where I'm really intrigued to see how the high street is going to do this. It was Matthew Williamson, Alexander McQueen, Moschino all showed corsets in their catwalks, but I'm already seeing other luxury brands such as wedding dress brands really bringing that corsetry back into the forefront. Berta, oh my goodness, they put a reel on their Instagram the other day featuring this most stunning pink corseted wedding dress, or it could even be a prom dress. I think it's the most beautiful creation I have ever seen. This is a trend which I think we will be seeing fewer people adopting because it is going to be quite niche and it is harder to make it subtle. But maybe, for example, how we saw the Kate tops, you know, the ones with the beautiful necklines, we saw the high street doing that really well this year. Whether you love it or hate it, the high street will always be inspired by those designer brands. I don't know, maybe we'll just start to see subtleties of corsetry. For example, just a little bit more boning in some of our tops, or that structured, almost like built-in bra. I'm not sure, but I'm really intrigued to see how this trend impacts what we see in stores throughout 2021. No doubt it is inspired by not only that nostalgia that we're all feeling, but also what's on TV right now. I mean, I haven't actually started Bridgerton on Netflix yet because I want to finish Downton Abbey first, but I can tell that that is going to seriously influence my wardrobe in 2021. So speaking of historical silhouettes, we are going to be seeing a lot more volume in 2021. I feel like last year it was really about the shoulders, and I don't think that trend is going to be dying away anytime soon. Personally, I really love those knitwear pieces with just a subtle puff shoulder. We're going to be seeing a little bit more of a padded shoulder this year as well, but we're also going to be seeing a lot more volume in the skirt department. Following on slightly from that 1940 silhouette, we're going to be seeing a cinched in waist and then a really big dramatic voluminous skirt. That is a trend that I absolutely love. Any feminine classic silhouettes, I just think they are so beautiful and surprisingly easy to wear. So every year it's very interesting to know what the trouser silhouette trend is going to be, and this year it's going to be all about that wide leg trouser. Perhaps it's because we're all used to wearing that super comfortable legging or loungewear, and we just are not ready to go back to anything too form-fitting. The wide trouser is definitely going to be the denim silhouette, especially for spring, but I think it's going to last throughout the whole of 2021. There are so many different ways of styling the wide trouser. Personally, I think it's important to still give yourself a little bit of a silhouette, so I like to cinch in the waist with a belt, then you can go really voluminous with your blouse or your jumper. But in the back of my mind there is just this fashion rule where if you're voluminous on one part of your body, then you should try and be a little bit more streamlined on the other. So if you're wearing a voluminous blouse, keep your trousers or your skirt a little bit more form-fitting. And then on the flip side, if we're going to be wearing wide leg trousers, I probably would be more tempted to keep my top half a little bit more slim fitting, just to keep that silhouette a little bit more flattering. We are already seeing the high street adopt this wide trouser trend, specifically the retailers which are always very speedy on the trends. There are so many already in H&M, Mango and Zara, to name but a few. The next trend is one which I have already invested in for winter 2021, and it is capes. But actually the trend is more whimsical, kind of fairy tale capes than the more countryside capes that I've been wearing, but I'm still gonna roll with this trend and put my own countryside spin on it. But we saw designers such as, oh my goodness, Amelia Wickstead putting capes on evening gowns, and it just reminds me of something that Sleeping Beauty or a Disney princess would wear, and I absolutely love it. But I think as the high street tends to make things more wearable, I think we'll be seeing capes as outerwear, maybe more knitwear style capes. In fact, Needle and Thread have got the most beautiful knitted cape, and a retailer that I've worn so much lately, Holland Cooper, their more countryside style capes. It's something which instantly makes you feel so much more fabulous and so much more on trend, without having to completely redo your entire style for the season. Now, a trend that I'm not really sure what to call it, but that was definitely seen on the likes of Hermes, Chanel, Celine, all of the big ones. It's ladylike, but with a little bit of a twist. I think we all especially on the catwalks, we all fell in love with these really beautiful, very feminine styles, billowy, soft tulle material, lovely light colors. But now we're seeing those designers make it a little bit more edgy, a little bit more cool by adding something really unexpected like a hoodie or a leather jacket with an otherwise really feminine outfit. I think this could be surprisingly wearable throughout 2021. Perhaps we are craving those more dainty, whimsical, feminine designs, but then we don't want to look too girly. So by adding something that we do already have in our wardrobe, something that we know and love, such as a leather jacket or a hoodie, is a great way of making those more feminine pieces that we absolutely love a little bit more wearable as life hopefully starts to go a bit more back to normal. Ooh, and before I share my worst trend of 2021, a little bit of a brief chat about jewellery. I'm pleased to report that pearls are not going anywhere. I'm wearing my pearl earrings and pearl bracelet and actually pearl necklace right now. I told you I love those classic pieces over the trends any day of the week, but we're actually seeing more of an unusual pearl jewellery coming into fashion for 2021. Those more natural kind of organic pearl shapes all clustered together. We're going to be seeing a lot of more nostalgic pearl designs as well, such as clusters of pearl bracelets. You can find them in charity shops, antique shops, but you can also find them in Dior stores and the designers as well. So that is a jewelry trend that I am absolutely loving, and also one which I guess you could call heavy metal. We are seeing more statement chunky necklaces. Missima and Astrid & Mew did some really lovely wearable ones that they've got in their new in sections right now, especially I think the 1971 collection from Missima. That is quite a chunky piece, but again very wearable, especially over those top to toe neutral outfits. So those are the jewelry trends that I'm very much looking forward to seeing. We're also going to be seeing lots of like single long earrings, but that's one that I'm not such a fan of. And now we have the trend which is not for me, and it is the net trend. We have actually seen this on designers such as Loewe, Balenciaga, Dior. Dior have these net boots. I don't know, it's one of those trends that you're gonna replay this clip to me in 6 months time and I'll probably have spent goodness knows how much on a netted jumper or something. And it's not so much like fishnet tights, it's everything. It's knitted, it's netted, I keep wanting to say knitted, it's netted roll necks, net dresses. I don't know, maybe it's something about the indecisiveness that designers don't really know what we're going to be doing this year. Are we all going to have to be eating al fresco because of COVID rules, in which case you could wear a slip dress with a netted jumper over the top because then you can be hot but cool? I don't know. I can't even explain this trend because I just can't wrap my head around it. So the netted trend is one which we might be seeing popping up over this year, but it's one that I, for one, I think will not be investing in for 2021. So darlings, I hope you found this interesting, hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comment section down below which is your favorite trend, which of these trends do you already have in your wardrobe, or which ones are you most likely to be investing in and wearing this year. But also let me know how you feel about trends. Do we care? Are we just slightly interested to have it in the back of our minds to see how it might impact our styling throughout the year? Let me know, darlings, and the vlogs will be back on Tuesday. So excited for that. I have most definitely missed it. Darlings, that's all from me. Don't forget to subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and that's all from me. I'll see you very soon in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.